Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. Um, First of all, Merry Christmas or whatever other holiday you celebrate. Hope it was a good one. And looking forward to the New Year's. So today is a really exciting day. I put a little money towards something that I've wanted to for a while now, and I just haven't. Um, just kind of shortly before the holidays there, I started investing in something to kind of improve my workspace a little bit, kind of clean things up a little bit. Um, so we'll kind of walk you around the room here. You guys can see there's no more horns on the floor. Normally, there'd be a bunch of horns on the floor. Well, you're probably wondering, where did they all go? And the answer to that is the new investment that I made. Shelving. Finally. After literally years and years of wanting to get my horns off the floor and on shelves, I finally found some shelving that was nice. Not too expensive, but not at the same time not very cheap, buying in bulk. And finally made the investment to get interlocking shelves so I can properly show my collection now, and it's not all just sitting on the floor. And I was actually really excited about this, more excited than what I thought I'd be. One, it's nice having all this floor space now. If some of you have been on the channel long enough, or if you've gone back and watched some of my older videos, there was like two lines of horns down the middle, and then a line of horns on each side, and I only had little teeny paths to walk through. So now I have all that floor space back, and yeah, and a very nice way to show my whole collection now. You guys can actually see things a little bit better in this perspective, I think. I mean, yeah, you guys could see it pretty good on the floor, but now you guys can really see exactly what I have. I feel like some of the horns kind of got lost in the lineup. You know, you just see a line of horns and they all look the same. So now we can actually see every single horn and what's going on. So just as a little catch up, some of these I'm not going to go too far into, just because I have horn talks coming on some of these that I haven't done. Some of these I have done horn talks on, so you've already seen it. But basically now that everything is in nice neat rows, and I got some more stuff out there now than what I had the last time I did a video like this. We're just going to run through each one kind of quick and just tell you what it is, just that way you guys can know what I have in the collection. So we'll start over here. I think I'm just going to go down the rows. So first up in the collection here, we have an early K5 LLA non-raised letter bells, two-piece Sandcast 1L bell. I think this is 40 something. The other thing is I can't see so it's 46K serial number on it. Former Union Pacific. Has UP stamps in a lot of the parts, which is pretty cool. All unpainted. You guys got to hear and see some of the restoration on that a while back. Here we have my early 2000s Amtrak K5LA with the debris covers on them. The clamp-on ones, not the bolt-on ones, clearly. This is a 23K serial number on that one. You guys saw kind of a little bit of a restoration on that, some cleanup, and you guys have heard sound of that one. Down here we have my square tag 90s Amtrak K5LA. That's a 13 or 12K. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that one. It's a little deep in there. I don't know if the phone can really see it. I don't know if you guys can see what serial number is. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I'm not trying to pull that out with one hand. So there's that one. And then this one kind of got, I think, scooted around a little bit. Then this one is a, that's my former CNO, or ex-CNO, former CSX 80s K5LA. It's early 80s. It's not a big bore, but it does have unmarked 3A and 4A bells on it. You guys have seen some videos on that and heard some sound from that. It is a corker. Cork gaskets on everything. And then back up top here, we have a very first run raised letter K5 LLA. You guys have seen me do in-depth videos on this before. You guys have heard the sound. Everything except for the number 1 bell, it's all UP. The 1L is former Norfolk Southern, clearly. And actually, not Norfolk Southern, it's BNSF, former BNSF, sorry. So this one is, this one's all very first manufactured raised letter horn. And if you guys want some more specifics on that, you can kind of go back through my videos, find some stuff on that. This one here is my 80s CSX K5LA that I rebuilt and restored. This one has that maintenance tag on the back, and then it has a maintenance date stamped on the manifold. I think it was like 90 something, but the horn is all 80s, except for I think the 1 and 2 are 90s bells. And if, like I said, if you guys want some more specifics on some of these, I have videos on a lot of these further back in the channel, so you guys can kind of look through some of that. This is just a quick run through. Then we have a all original square tag 90s CSX K5LA. And then at the bottom we have my parts built K5L, 80s K5L, all 80s bells. Has a true 4 on it, so a non-board 4. All kind of parts collected from a combination of CSX, CN, and I think one of the bells is from Union Pacific as well. So there's that one. That one is as well a corker. It's a corker 80s, early 80s, K5L. And we'll come back up top here. We have a raised letter, former Norfolk Southern raised letter K5 LLA. Pretty much still in original condition, clean to the touch, but I did nothing as far as like fixing up the paint because I kind of wanted to keep this one a little bit more straight off the locomotive condition. So still has some pitting on the metal. Nothing that's gonna keep going. All that's pretty much been stopped in time. And that I think is a 80 or 90K tag. Can't remember off the top of my head. Then down here is the 90s K5 LLA that I've done some detail on in the past. It's 90s 1, 2, 3A and 4, and then a Sandcast 2-piece 1L. Beautiful sounding horn. Not on its original manifold. I think that's like 100 and something K manifold that I had to put on it to put the bells on. You want to learn more about that? I got videos on that in the past. And then this one is my, I think this one is my, yeah, this is my raised letter K5LA hybrid. You guys can find some more information on that in the past. I do have a horn coming for the empty spot here. I have a K5LLA that I bought from a good friend of mine, or a K5LA that I bought from a good friend of mine. That's going to go there. So that spot's reserved. And then here is a newer, completely parts built raised letter K5LLA. I think that one is like 100 and, what is it, 116K tag on it. But that's all parts that I collected from friends to just pretty much build and have a brand spanking new K5LLA. Down here, I haven't done too many videos on this one, but I do have a sound clip up of this. I think it's just called an early 2000s K5LA, or K5LA, sorry. It's HLCX, former HLCX, so it's got that nice kind of red maroon color. I did some cleanup on that and that. The tag is very painted over, and it's either a 21K or a 22K. I can't really tell. It's somewhere around there. But it's early 2000s. Really nice sounding horn. This one is a parts built raised letter K5L. This one has a little secret to it, and I've had this horn in the past, but not in this capacity. So I'm not going to go too deep into this one. This will be a spring project coming up, so you guys will see more on that. And then my the GE cast be a GE 5HL, not a K5HL, because it's GE. It's got the GE tag, fully GE built horn. You guys have seen that in the past, and got some sound clips of that and some of the work that I've done to that one. And then back up top here we have my CSX K5HLA hybrid. That's 3A, 2 forward, and then 4, 1, and 1L backwards. That's 109K serial number, if I remember correctly. That's the one I had repainted along with my other CSX parts K5LA back there. Have the let's see, what did I build this as? 118K K5HLB with an actual factory B bell. You guys have heard sound clips of this. You've seen some of the stuff in the past. Really cool horn. Really nice, fully unpainted. This was probably one of the last projects I put up, I think, and I'm still kind of working on it. It's a early K5HLA hybrid. It's a 3-4A combination. Still an original H2 paint. That's the cool thing about this one. It's all H2 paint, and it's 40 something K. I can't remember off the top of my head. This one I'm still doing some sound testing with, so you'll hear some more of this come springtime. This one you have not heard yet. It's a completely parts built early K5H. What I built it? Yeah, it's a early K5HLB. So it's got a 3B on it, and then all the other bells are what you would regularly see on an early K5HL. Everything is error correct. The 3B is actually a 3A that I installed a shim in. So that's what's going on with that one. Back up top here we have a newer former BNSF K5HLA that I built. Pretty much all I did with this one is I took the 4 off and put a 3 on it, so it's a 3A combo hybrid with the 2 and 3A facing forward, much like this one, just in a different bell arrangement. I try to do these in some cool bell arrangements. As you can tell, I love, I didn't want a bunch of just generic looking K5HLs, and especially with these being hybrids, I wanted them in different arrangements to look cool. This one is just a normal K5HL. Let's see, can't remember what the serial number is on that one. That's an all original horn. I put it in a really weird bell arrangement that I've seen in real life. Thought it was a really cool, really unique bell arrangement, and so I did that. So it's a normal K5HL, just in a really, really wacky arrangement. Down here is a early K5HL, all original BNSF. It's got the two-piece 1L. It's 40 something K. I'm sorry, I can't remember all these off the top of my head. I really should just get like a notepad with them. And then down here is another early 2000s, or early K5HL, all non-raised letter bells, two-piece 1L, former BNSF. So both of those are pretty much the exact same horn right there. And then over to the last set of shelves here, we have a, what is this? 27K K3LA. So early 2000s K3LA. Former BNSF, you guys can still see a little bit of the H2 green on there. Gray primer underneath. This beast is it's a K5HLA non-hybrid. This is a horn that I had in my collection a really long time ago, and I parts it out for other projects. And I wanted to I've always wanted to rebuild it, and I finally got enough parts back together. So everything except for the 3-bell and the manifold is original to itself. All the back caps, the 1L, the 1, 2, and 4A are all former Norfolk Southern. They came from a K5LLA that I had, and I've kind of partsed out over time, but I still kept some of these parts together. So basically this is a K5LLA bell set that I put on a high manifold, but tried my best to keep the same bell arrangement, so it's still R1L, 1, 2 on each side of that, and then the 3 and 4 on their respective sides of the manifold, just not out here where they normally would be on a L manifold. So it's a really cool looking horn. You guys will see some more of that coming up in springtime. We'll do some testing on that. Literally not going to sound any different from a normal K5 LLA. It's just on a different manifold, and it looks cool. So that's why I wanted to do that one. This is another unique one. It's nothing too fancy, but it's a K3HL. So it's, I think I said that right. K3HL, yeah. So it's a K3 on a high manifold, and it's got a 1L, no A bells. It's a 1L 1-2 combo. So it's basically the top end of that horn on its own horn, and it's on a 3 high manifold. So that's another one that you guys will get some sound of in the springtime. Then we have my parts built P5, started life as a P3, bought a 3 and 5 bell, turned it into a P5. You guys have heard some sound on that one. Back up here we have another early 2000s K3LA. This one is 28K, I think. That was the very first K horn that I ever got. Still have it, and that's what started my love for K horns. I started off with P horns, messed around with P horns for quite a while, and then I finally got this one, and this really got me hooked on the K horns. So that's the very first one. Still have it. Still sounds great. You guys can see, still has some original H2 paint left on it. This one you guys have seen in a couple more recent videos. The kind of partsy K3L, former CP rail. The red has faded to orange pretty bad on this one. It's had some time. It's got a Holden 1 bell. The manifold, the 1 and the 3 are original. The 2 is a early 2000s bell. Still a really cool sounding horn, and it's railroad parts original, which is pretty cool. So, and the back cap on the one is a made in Canada back cap as well. And then down here we have a K3LB. So it has bells 1, 2, 3B. You guys will hear some sound of that in the spring. This is one that I haven't tested yet. Down here is my former Southern Pacific P3 Newcast. Same thing with the P5. The P5 is a Newcast as well. I don't know if I said that. So former Southern Pacific P3 Newcast. And then this is an early 2000s 21K serial number on that one. K3HA from an executive painted SD70 Mac, former BNSF. Has that nice merger scheme green, which is pretty cool. And then here is my mostly CN K3L. So it's another K3L. It has early 90s 1, 2, and then 80s 3. And you guys can see the 80s 3 is a former CSX bell. I've changed that bell out a couple times. When I originally got this horn, it had a Sandcast 3. I donated that to a good friend of mine for a project that he had going. So I've been kind of trying to track down a good 3 that sounded good with these 1 and 2. And I had a CSX 3 bell, an 80s. That was an 80s CSX 3 bell that I paired with these, and it sounds pretty good. So you guys will hear some new sound on that. Nothing yet for this empty spot. And then last but not least, my former Chicago Northwestern CNW old cast P3. Still has some of the original green paint on it. Like I've showed before, this one, this horn got broke off at some point. The base stayed there and the manifold kind of broke diagonally in half, and it was railroad repaired. They did a really interesting weld job on it. It was good, it was just super messy, so I kind of went back and cleaned that up. And probably going to try to paint match this someday, but we'll see. So there it is, guys. There's just kind of a walkthrough of what I have going on right now. A lot of stuff you guys have already heard, some stuff we have yet to hear, or we're gonna I'm gonna kind of go back and try and refine a few things. So like a few, as far as future project goes that you'll hear in the spring, the raised letter K5L, the early K5HLA hybrid, the early K5HLB, the two raised letter, the raised letter K5, or geez, K3HL, the K3LB, and then the K5HLA non-hybrid. So that's, and then you guys, I'll get some sound on that one too in the springtime. So yeah, so there's a pretty good overview of the whole collection, everything that's going on in it. I still have some parts left to play with, surprisingly. Still have some 1s, some 1Ls, a couple manifolds left, some 2s, 3s, 4s, got 1 5 left, plenty of back caps, so still got plenty of parts to play with on making some more, but this is the collection as it is right now. Like I said, I do have another K5LA coming for that spot right there, so that one's reserved. Nothing reserving that spot yet, and I have another little shelf that I can build. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Pretty exciting update for me personally, just for really having a way to properly display my collection now. Super exciting stuff. So other than that, that's pretty much it for the video. Like some of you know, I'm kind of doing some model railroad stuff, taking a step back from the horns for the winter, working on some model railroad stuff, and depending on how exciting I think the stuff is, I'll post some videos of that. So if you are a fan of model railroad, or if you know somebody that's a fan of model railroad, send them my way. we'll get something going here, model railroad wise. I got some buildings and stuff that I'm trying to work on right now, but so yeah, as always, thanks so much for the support. Recently got some new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Love having as many subscribers as I do, because I never thought I'd have as much as I have right now. So that's pretty exciting. But yeah, so thanks again everybody for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with me. I know my channel gets a little boring, but hopefully for the real hardcore horn people, you guys can enjoy these real talky talk videos here. So till next time, everybody take care. If I don't talk to you before then, have a great New Year's Eve, party it up, enjoy your time, and till next time, take care.